Hey, this is Kirby with Electric Fossil Studio in Milford, Delaware. And today I want to talk about how anything's possible. So, you live in a small town. So, you have one place where you can work. Your whole life, you grew up, and your family and friends said, "That's cool. Guess what? You should be into play some football, play some baseball, and then you're going to work at that factory down the street." Or you get to go through high school, mind your grades, and then you're gonna go work at the port. You're gonna go work on the boat over there. Or you go through high school, stop being so weird, just get a job at the logging company. Just go ahead and do that. That's what you can do. This is your destiny. This is your destiny to do that. Why, you think you're special? You think you can do something more? Or you're just a kid. Hey, you just come work at my my sales job company, selling whatever, selling some parts for office supplies. So you may have been told some things. You may have people around you that talk about how it's not going to happen. This isn't going to work. This isn't going to happen. Yeah, probably with that attitude, it's not going to. You have to think about what's possible. And if you don't know what's possible, I'll give you a few examples. So, you're in a small town in Aberdeen, Washington, small high school, small population, miserable weather, broken home. No reason to believe that you're going to be successful. You've got no money, you're poor. You're writing songs on pawn shop guitars with pawn shop amplifiers. No gear. And what, you want to write original music? Ugh. And then you get a band, then the drummer doesn't work out, then the next drummer doesn't work out, then the next drummer doesn't work out, then the next drummer doesn't work out, and then the next drummer doesn't work out. Then finally you get somebody that works. We'll see where it goes. I'm still poor. I'm living in my car. And then you go on tour and everyone tells you you're a hit, but you don't have any money yet. So you're still broke. That's the story of Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. In essence, there's a lot more to it, but that's the story of Nirvana. Or you grew up in a small war-ravaged town that had nothing but one factory, and you were to graduate from high school and go work at the factory. There's nothing more for you. Who, you think you're special? You grew up in England. We got destroyed. There's nothing here for you. There's nothing more. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? What makes you so special? There's no college for you. That's the environment that Black Sabbath grew up in. And you wonder why they're so hard, why they're so heavy. It's because their environment they grew up in. It's their mindset. They turned that nothing into something. And they thought a little bit bigger than where they were at.
Some people say my love cannot be true. Please believe me, my love, and I'll show.
The other example is a couple of kids lost their parents. Not both of them, but they lost some parents. They were very poor, struggled. Again, a war-torn city that they grew up in. Nothing really going on except for working on the boats because everything was destroyed from the war. And this sounds like a lot of places in the world, unfortunately. No reason to believe that they would be successful. I mean, gosh, they can't even get equipment sent to them. There was a trade embargo. They didn't have access to proper amplifiers or proper guitars. They had to make do. Luckily, there were some manufacturers in their country that were able to get something to them that would work. So no equipment. They had to leave town in order to get a gig because they didn't have any place in their hometown at the moment to play. But after thousands of hours of work, young guys got the attention of a industrious guy named Brian Epstein, and that's the story of the Beatles. A small part of it.
Love, love me do. You know I love you. I'll always
There's
be
no
true.
reason for any of those three stories for those guys to believe that success was on their way. It was coming. But they loved music. They loved what they were doing. And they did it for the music because they had to. Why? They had to write. They had to play. They had to do it. Black Sabbath, I would argue, they did it because they needed to get out of that town. They had a desire to be successful. And they found something that would set them apart. They were surviving. The Beatles, what else are they going to do? What do they have to go home to? This is it. This is what they love doing. They have extreme passion for it. They fell in love with the music that influenced them. This is what they do. Now, do they know, hey, it's going to be a huge smash hit and we're going to be this big thing? No. But they wanted to be successful. There's no reason to believe that they would be, but that's what they had a desire to be. Kurt Cobain grew up in the most unlikely of circumstances and changed the world. Anything is possible. You may not be John Lennon, you may not be Ozzy Osbourne, you may not be Kurt Cobain, but you might sing better. You might look better. You might have better songs. Yeah, I know, I said it. You might be a better guitar player, a better piano player, a better drummer than any of those guys. Well, here's a newsflash for you. There's always a better guitar player. There's always a better bass player. There's always a better drummer. There's always a better singer, no matter who you are. And there's always someone worse than you as well. So keep your head with the attitude of anything is possible. Never put limitations on your dreams. Never put limitations on yourself, because you never know what could happen. Does it matter that you weren't born in Nashville? Does it matter that you weren't born in New York? Does it matter that you weren't born in Los Angeles? It's a big, wide world out there with tons of people who grew up in all sorts of conditions, and you never know who's going to like your song. You never know who's going to fall in love with your music. Anything is possible. Do it because you love the music. Do it because you have a desire to create. Don't do it based on probability. As Han Solo once said, don't tell me the odds. If you'd like to book some time, feel free to reach out to me through Instagram, Facebook. And you could also email me at electricfossil@yahoo.com. This is Kirby, Electric Fossil Studio. Talk to you soon.